Story motherfucking time. So sometime ago, I was working in the ER as a nurse. Yay! So there was this wonderful, well-spoken, super pleasant patient. Oh, he was also drunk. Just kidding, that was sarcasm. He was not wonderful and he was not super pleasant. He was belligerent. Just belligerent. We can call him Michael. Michael was yelling 1 minute, crying the next. He was beside himself. He was incredibly emotional. A lot of what he was saying didn't make any sense. And eventually he starts talking about this woman that he's with, his girlfriend. And he's just boo-hooing and wah-wah-wahing. And every time we have to go over there to do something for him, the story would continue about how unappreciative she is, how unpleasant she is, how dismissive she is. She's so cold. And I'm like, Michael, is that why you're drunk? Are you sad about the direction this relationship is going in? And he wipes his eyes all dramatically and he's like, yeah. Oh, you poor thing. I'm talking to him, but you know, you say what you gotta say to keep the situation to a minimum, prevent the escalation, because Michael was drunk, a special kind of drunk, and he seemed to only be a little less belligerent when he was boo-hooing about this sad relationship that he was in. So did I encourage it? Absolutely. I had to do what I had to do to get my job done. I still didn't even get an IV on this guy, and he speaks with his whole body. Of course he does. Of course he does.
This is 3rd Avenue, 149th Street. Transfer is available. Express train.
So I'm like, tell me why she's unappreciative, Michael. What was the most recent thing that took place, Michael?
You know, I offered her money. And I did this and I did that and she didn't want it.
And I was like, well, why do you think she didn't want it? I don't know, y'all don't care. I'm getting my stuff set up over here while he's talking to me so that I can keep him engaged, which is keeping him distracted so that I can start this IV and start, you know, flooding him with the fluids. And he goes into detail about some seriously dramatic situations, which, you know, I'm obviously questioning whether or not they're true. His imagination seemed vast. It seemed to be extensive, to go on for years and days and ages, and he's just talking and talking and talking. So eventually I get the IV because I'm listening to him. I am being his stand-in therapist, and I was like, you know, I think you might need to sleep this off, and when you wake back up, you'll be able to make a conscious decision. And he reluctantly agrees. But then of course, as I walk away, somebody else walks past him and he starts to talk to them about his ungrateful girlfriend. So I start to check on my other patients. I'm checking the charts, or at least the orders, because nobody really looks at the chart in the emergency room. And I go do everything that I have to do for my other people, and I see as I'm coming back out from my other patient's room that there is this tall woman who looks just as disheveled as my patient Michael. And I was like, this is the girlfriend. The girlfriend, however, she's not drunk. No, she's high. She is high like a kite. How do I know that? She told me.
I smoke rocks.
I walk over there and I was like, hi, how are you doing? And she's like, I'm fine. Okay, that's fine. Did you want to sit down?
No, I just got my hit.
That's fine. And so Michael over there boo-hooing about her not appreciating anything. You don't ever do anything for me. I do everything for you. I don't know the dynamic of this relationship. At this point, I don't even care. I just need Michael to get these fluids in. Let me give him all of his orders and I can send them on their merry way. They are just a telenovela over there, okay? A soap opera in that corner over there, all right? So I walk out. I try to see how much more I could get done. I try to go on about my day. These people are arguing now. They are loud. The whole situation is he or she hasn't put their hands on one another, but there's a lot of pointing. There's a lot of getting in one another's face. I was like, This is not what I need right now. This situation is exactly what you see in the ER on a regular basis. So I asked security to come over there with me to help de-escalate the situation. And the security guard is over there, and it, again, like I said, it just seemed like Michael calms down when you just let him talk about how ungrateful she is. She doesn't know what the frick is going on. I feel like she's just getting more and more high by the second. So eventually security's like, I'm gonna have to walk you out. He was already belligerent enough before you got here. You get in here and now the two of you are going at each other's necks. It's very disruptive. Yes, clearly. So he escorts her out, her hippity hop ass out of there. And my charge nurse walks over to check on the situation, and she was like, what is happening? And I was like, he's very upset about his ungrateful girlfriend. And so she's like, oh, and she plays along. And she was like, how long have you known her? How long has this been going on for, Michael?
Man, about 33 minutes.
Michael, what? 33 minutes? Now, Michael didn't look that old. Michael looked like he might have been maybe 38. So even if he made a mistake and meant 33 years, still wasn't making any sense. I said 33 minutes or 33 months? He was like,
Nah, man, I just met her outside the hospital. I gave her $2. I gave her $2 and she said,
What am I supposed to do with that?
oh. I said, oh, and so is that why she's ungrateful? He was like,
yeah, man.
oh, well, that's the end of that. Thank you for joining. Also, please click the links below. Take a look at what I've got going on. Take a look at what my editor's got going on. Take a look at my books, my literary masterpieces. Mwah. Subscribe, hit the little bell, share some similar experiences. Thank you for joining.